Here for the last round against the Necromancer. 1-0 with this version of the deck. 1-2 overall. We are sneeping. Sneep, sneep. Not having the forest is a little awkward in this hand because otherwise we could fetch Mountain and then Forest and play like Grandmaster and Painful Truths. Now we just have to fetch Mountain and hope we draw a good land next turn. Otherwise we just fetch another Mountain. That seems pretty bad. Well, now we have the Cinderglade, so I guess we could do that. Definitely want to play one of my 3-drops, but then we're going to end up with like 3 red sources and a Crackling Doom, which is not great. Not like having the forest would have changed the Crackling Doom issue. But still. It's always awkward when you draw like 2 of the same fetch and none of the other ones. Or in this case, I draw 2 green-red fetches and the Cinderglade. So I just have like this abundance of green and red mana sources. You really just want to be drawing a mix of things. And, you know, you can't control that. Sometimes it just happens. That's why I have the ETB tap lands in the deck, just because you lead on those, and then it's like no matter what amount of fetches you draw, if you have like a Nomad Outpost, then generally you have all the mana sources you could ever want. Yeah, we are ways off of actually casting the Rhino too, so pretty funny. We'll have it next turn. Next turn, Rhino. If I did have a force to fetch, then I drew the Heath, then I could have fetched the Plains and played Rhino, so. I don't know. Alright, black, green, red. Draw infinite. Infinite Crads. Yeah, you draw 2, I'll draw 3. Now they're at 12 life because my little beaters, and I got 8 points of burn in my hands. That's pretty sweet. Man, we're just a ways off everything, huh? We just can't activate Shambling Vent, can't cast Doom, can't cast Rhino. It's great. Deck's perfect. Just good deck building. Just good deck building. Alright, so if we fetch a black-red land. Then we go black, red, white manas. Nugya. Get my Doom back. Hit you for 5, back down to 8. It's like your Siege Rhino never happened. So yeah, this version of the deck, a little bit more robust, as you can see. Just a little bit. So opponent's probably in an awkward spot because they know I have Crackling Doom. Play like Anafenza, Heir of the Wilds this turn. Anafenza, Murderous Cut Your something. Got a puppy licking my neck currently. Actually feels kind of good. But yeah, like my spot. Still have all these rhinos, etc. Got some cards to shuffle. You know, life is good. Life is good. Today started pretty rough. Again, not a dog pun. Just difficult day. What do we have here? Another rhino. Alright, so we're going to do this whole time walk thing again, I think. Oh, and the warden, I see. I see. Alright, what you working with, Rhino Man? What you got over there? Oh, your own Crackling Doom. With 2 forests. That seems tough. Get Nugget. Alright, got him to 3. And I have a Rhino. Anything could happen. Wonder who's going to win. It's anyone's game, really. Anna. Welcome to the party. You're not going to be here very long, so I think I'm just going to kill you next turn. Red, black, green, white. Moo. Moo, 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 moo. Get mooed. I consider it a perfect game if I end the game over 20 life. Just thought you should all know that. Alright, we have basically nothing for Abzan. I generally find the matchup to be pretty good. I like a couple duresses to snag Gideon. But other than that, I just want another Utter End, basically, to kill Gideon. Like some Obnixilis action. And this puppy, you're just the worst. Just calm down. So Kolagon's command is not great here. It doesn't kill a lot of stuff. So I had more cards against them in the open. What did I have? I had like an Obnixilis and stuff. So I was generally cutting the commands on the draw, and then when I was on the play, I would keep in a command over a shock. Some very light sideboarding. I did defeat the 2 Abzan decks I played against. I think I only played against 2. Including a game I almost conceded on their turn 5. The old Gideon into Wingmate Rock nonsense. But I threw away all my cards, killed their Wingmate Rock and their token, drew a Painful Truce like a turn or 2 later, and then was able to come back and win from there despite them still having Gideon in play. So it was a pretty sweet game. And just goes to show you should never give up, never surrender, especially when you have Painful Truce in your deck. Anything could happen. Get Truce with 5 mana, draw like a cut and a Fire Impulse, just be right back in it. Keep. So I'm not sure how to necessarily develop here, because I do want to get Cinderglade with Bloodstained Mire, I think. But say my opponent doesn't do anything, maybe I want to go Soulfire into just fetch Mountain and play Painful Truths, I don't know. I do think I want to play Soulfire this turn. And we'll see what they do. Oh, Silk Wrap. Wrap it up. Now if I Painful Choose, I have to discard, I think. Yep. So, alright then. My decision is made for me. I will duress you. See if you got any Gideons over there. I'm pretty scared of that card. Nope. All dudes. All dudes. Alright. Alright. Nice work, Duress. You suck. Warden, Rock, Rhino, Anna. So, can basically only play Rhino this turn. They can't play Anafenza and Warden, so that's good. It's kind of what I'm scared of. Rhino I can deal with pretty easily, I think. put an end to this Rhino. There's probably no reason for me to really do that main, but I definitely want to do that before they attack so that I don't get wingmate rocked. What is happening? Just venting me? Instead of playing Anafenza? That seems crazy. Just actual lunacy. There's some moments, like right now, where I'm a little paranoid that maybe my Painful Truths will get discarded by a Duress or something. But just gonna play Captain Rhino. It is the most obvious best play, so we're just gonna do that. And Murderous Cut, we generally try and set it up so there's a turn where you get to play a spell and a cut, in a turn where you wouldn't normally get to do two things, which is one of the benefits of playing a card like Murderous Cut in your deck, something that has a very high ceiling, a lot of potential. Stasis Snare. Okay. You have killed my Rhino. Stasis Snare, Crackling Doom? Jeez. I'm just going to kill this thing right now. I could potentially make them put some mana into it, but the more likely scenario is they just go to attack. And if after attackers I kill it, they don't really care because they'll just play Wingmate Rock. They're probably not going to invest mana into it this turn. But even if they were going to, they could just have a Dromoka's Command, which would be pretty bad for me. So didn't really want to run afoul of that. Let's cut her up. Real nice. Got a little Den Protector action. Probably get back Painful Truths. Try and pull even further ahead here. And then there'll be some turn where I actually get to start attacking with Shambling Vents when I'm done using my mana, so that'll be nice. The only card I know in their hand is Wingmate Rock. So we can just close that. Kind of looking for a Soulfire at this point. Soulfire would be pretty nice. Yep, that's in there. Probably just going to kill that too. We'll see though. Like, I could get under end, free up my Soulfire, and then just try and start shooting stuff, but I feel like they might have, like, a command. Could even be an Abzan Charm, who knows. Oh, Roasty Toasty. Give me all the crads. I want them all. It's possible I should be using one of my more expensive cards here. But I kind of want to just play Shambling Vent, so keeping open Impulse and Doom seems fine. Possible I should just attack with a Vent here to gain some life, rather than let my mana go unspent. So yeah, that was probably not great. Oh, they're going to Abzan Charm my thing. Oh, they're going to cut my thing. Okay. That's fine. I should have attacked with Vent. I wish I did. Oh well. Even if they play like a Rhino or an Anafenza, I don't even want to cast Crackling Doom. I'll probably just want to untap and roast it, but that's not even going to happen, so won't have to worry about that. Alright, I have a Plains Lift in my deck to fetch. That's good. It's possible the 1 life is actually worth more than me thinning my deck, but who knows? So they have Wingmate Rock and X. And yeah, have to activate their or use their other Shambling Vent to activate their other Shambling Vent. So we'll get plains, white, red, black, crackle. Alright, so you take 4 damage, I gain 2 life. And I have a roast and 3 Shambling Vents left over to your vent, Wingmate Rock, and 2 random cards. So this game is still pretty close. I definitely need a little bit more help. Flooded out a bit. Thankfully, I drew all my creature lands. But ideally, I want to be able to chain like card drawer into card drawer and just keep the chain going. Maybe that means I should just be playing 1 fewer land, but with Soulfire Grandmaster in my deck, I just want to make all my land drops. And yeah, I'm fine if they just spend their turn hitting me with Shambling Vent. And I can duress and hit them with 2 vents, so I'll do that. Radiant Flames, Jesus. Jesus! Might have thought that I was on some sort of like Pia and Kieran deck. More like Tulio's Mardu deck, but who knows. Talk about mysteries. Alright, so life total's mostly even. If they play a fatty, I get to roast it and hit them with 2 vents. If they play a fatty and I draw Painful Truths, I'll probably just play 4 spells next turn. That'd be great. 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I've gone through 15 lands, so I have 11 lands in my 33 cards. So I'm like 2/3 to draw spell. Most of my spells are pretty nice. Some are low impact. I have some impulses left for sure. Oh, Gideon. Well, I'll probably have to roast that knight and then attack Gideon. Ooh. Oh. Oh! Oh. Alright, I'm still doing it. I don't want to truths and like brick off and then not be able to kill Gideon. That seems like a disaster. I don't know. They're so committed to not playing this Wingmate Rock, but for the longest time, I just had the roast and actually wouldn't have been able to deal with it. So I think when you're playing Rhino, or sorry, they just played a Rhino, but when you're playing like Gideon on an empty board, it is often better to just like make an emblem. Because then like you'd have a Shambling Vent that could beat my Shambling Vents, and then the Wingmate Rock would be a little bit bigger. I'm not sure if that would matter or not, but could. We drew another fetch land, so we'll fetch out another land. Generally, thinning is overrated, but when you're this deep into your deck and drawing multiple cards, like those percentage points actually start to add up. So I think it's worth a life. And we end up finding basically what we need, because we are the luckiest. White, black, green, X. All right, 12 to 11. 12 to 10. I like this mana base. So far, I have liked having more cards that do things, and I've been actually winning. I won a match, and I'm close to winning another match. So this deck has to be great. This version has to be better than the other one, unfortunately. It is all about the truth. Drawing and resolving the truth and chaining that into other card advantage stuff and just never letting go, basically. And I think I've yet to activate a Soulfire Grandmaster in this video, but I did it several times in the tournament and it felt real good. Real good. Alright, we are turbo flooded. 4, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So we have 7 lands left in our 27 cards. And yeah, we're out of lands to fetch with these 2 fetches, so that is a gigantic beat. But we can kill this Gideon. Actually, well, hold on. 3, 6, 9. Might just be better to go after their face. Because even if I kill the Gideon, they can still hit me with the Knight. I could block with the Vent. And then they can play Wingmate Rock, and then I have to try and beat Wingmate Rock. At least this way, I think I could probably just swarm them. Creature land's doing work. Doing some work. So I go up to 18. They're at 2. They have to hit me with Gideon, play Wingmate Rock, and then they only have 2 blockers to my 4 attackers. So yeah, game should basically be over. Good old Shambling Vent. Take it all back. I was talking about how I didn't want the 3rd one of you, but the 3rd copy actually came up and has been relevant, so pretty great. Yeah, we're halfway through my deck. Only saw 1 Soulfire. Having a Soulfire generally makes the games pretty easy. This game was a little tougher. Our opponent stopped at 6 land, I guess, so yeah, I mean, I outlanded them by like 7. Which is pretty absurd. I'm just up 7 cards on them. Den Protector. Give me that Crackling Doom. Black, white. Red. No. Boom. Okay, so 2-0 in matches with this deck. I don't know. I guess Den Protector's good. Having a bunch of 3-drops is good. Or better than not, I suppose. Because it's just like, yeah, now we've like taken all the lands out of our deck. We're just drawing like straight gas for the rest of the game, so yeah, that is gonna do it, I suppose. I'll talk about some stuff in the wrap-up, but those are my 4 matches. 0-2 with the bad deck, 2-0 with the good deck.